Hello and welcome to CTS133 software configuration. I wish this is a really good start. I'm really excited for this course to start today. It's a hard time for us to have most of the courses to be virtually. However, we need to work, you know, with what we have. I was expecting more students. However, this is our first meeting that we will have or be having today. The course just started. I'm sure that you're getting to used to the course, the information that I've posted since yesterday. I have been working on your course like a week now, and yesterday I really started sending out information to you, putting it for you to get a quick access and easy access to these information. Can you hear me? You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So today we are starting the course, and this is how it's going to go until the end of the course. We have a class over here just as normal class. However, rather being face to face, we are meeting virtually. With virtual, there's good things and bad things that we call it. The bad thing that you don't have the face to face and physical interaction with the instructor and or with me as with students. There's a lot of limitations over here, but the good thing that everything is going to be recorded. You have the opportunity to review it again. There's emails, there's phone calls we can do, and I'm pretty sure as we are dealing with computer science over here, we can do it. We can pass this course easily and without any problems. I just need to double check something. I cannot see your faces. These are the participants over here. Yeah, I can see. So right this moment, we have a couple of students over here. And this is your list. That's participant list that we should have. I see it as how you are listed in my course. However, today we are talking and covering the lecture about a number of things. I've already set the meetings until the end of the semester meetings. However, and I already set it to 2 hours. Sometimes we will finish early. Sometimes we don't have enough time. I don't know if this program will allow me to extend time if I need to. However, I think 2 hours is the minimum time that we need for today class because we have a lot of things to go through. I will explain everything, explain how this course will go. I will tell you what you want to have ready in order for you to be successful in this course. The most important thing that I ask everyone, if you did not do it by now, is by going through the entire course, review it, understand how you can navigate through the course. The main important tool that I use in my communication with all as general broadcast going to be announcements. With announcements, I try to put everything I can have that I have been asked before, or I know that you're going to ask about it. That's why I'm putting everything in the announcement. Sometimes I will get an email saying a question about things. I will respond back, check the announcement, or I will respond back. If it's not there, if it's not located, I'm going to tell you where it's located, or I will give it to you the information you need. Otherwise, if it's located in the course, I'm going to tell you check the course. It's listed over there. Saying that, let's start going ahead. What we are going to do every semester is, or every class, every meeting, we are going to take attendance. Okay, I'm going to take attendance every single class. Please, if you are, I have two screens, by the way, so some information will show on my left screen, some of them will show on the right screen. I'm thinking to add one more, but what you're seeing is my right hand screen, which I'm going to call you. Sometimes I have the opportunity to see the chat. Sometimes I don't know, so I don't know if I already activated the chat to be viewed in my screen. However, starting with Edward. Ed, are you here? Sasha, if I'm correct pronouncing the name, please correct me. Sasha?
Yes, I'm here.
Destiny?
I'm here.
Derek? Or no? Daycare? Day? Last name? Daycare? Alexandra? Alexandra? Being in the list of participants will not count until you are responding to me. I don't know if you have a problem with them. I can see you're in my list, but you need to answer. Alexandra? Nicholas?
Here.
Angel?
I'm here.
Dylan? Dylan?
Here.
No, I can see it. Kathleen? Just make sure that you mute your self after talking. Kathleen? Okay. Gonza? Okay. Jayla? 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 Masoon? Okay.
I'm here.
Did I pronounce your name correctly? Mason?
It's Mason.
Mason.
Yeah.
Okay. Ashley?
I'm here.
Julian?
I'm right. I'm here.
Let me see. Okay. William? 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 Wesley?
Here.
Okay. And Peyton, right? Peyton or Peyton?
Here.
How do I pronounce your name?
Peyton.
Peyton. Okay. Thank you so much. So back here. Talking about the course, this is your syllabus that I've posted. You have my contact information. Most of the time, I'm not physically on campus, so I've already put my email address and my cell phone. So this is my cell phone. Yes, it's 813. Yes, it's Tampa. So my information, my office hour is going to be online. So whenever you need help, actually, what I'm going to do is to set a meeting, just like how we have a meeting like this, send you the link, and we can discuss about your question. I can explain a lot of information, and I can let you see my screen as we go through, just like how I'm going to do every single class. Respond to information within between 24 to 48. I have my information come on my cell phone. However, yeah, you didn't see it. However, I give myself 24 to 48 hours to respond. If the information I know, I will respond even earlier than this time, between 1 day or 2. No, I'm going to respond much faster. However, if I don't have the information, I need to send it to someone else where this person needs to respond. They have, 2 days, 1 to 2 days. It's out of my control. However, the information I know, I can provide it to you immediately. Campus information. Today I'm going to answer the most questions going to be asked about the start of this course. So I'm going to respond back a lot. So if you get an if you send me an email about information I discussed in class, like this is recording. I'm going to tell you go back to the recording because this is how actually I'm going to discuss everything that comes to your mind. Campus information, if you need help, you can contact FSCJ online, or you can contact the resource center located in the different campuses. And technical support, you have their information over here. Most of the time, if you have an issue or problem with U-Certify, our help desk will not be able to help you. It's out of their control. So if you have any issue related to U-Certify only, like you're doing an activity it's not recording, or you're doing something you cannot view it, you can send me an email. However, you need to send an email to support@ucertify.com. I will give you, if things that I can do, I will tell you what to do. So send me email first. If you haven't, if you need U-Certify, then I will tell you contact U-Certify. It's a different company, that's why. This is the course description. What you are going to learn in this course, you are going to learn how to deal with the operating system, different type of operating system. We are talking about software configuration over here of the operating system. Now, my advice for you, if you did not do it by now, if hardware configuration is the main course, it's come before this course. Most of the students take it at the same exact time. So if you don't have it at the same exact time, and you are planning to have hardware configuration after software configuration, you need to have really good understanding of hardware when working. Otherwise, you may have some problems when we talk about how the pieces itself is being designed and why we have this. Because there's a lot of related information between hardware and software. The course will help you to learn what you need as information to complete the CompTIA A+ certification. This is a learning course. I don't know if they offer you, I don't think they will offer you any voucher. Last time I checked, they had a reimbursement if you pass the 2 exams. That's what I know. However, it's a learning path to CompTIA. Everything that's related to CompTIA is here, which is a good thing. Course information. These are the information you need to have. Course name, or the title is CTS133C. YC is for accreditation. That's why. Software configuration is the name or the title of the course. 1583 is your class number. It's a 3 credit hour. We are in fall 2020, and this is a 15-week course. Class started today, ends on December 15th. Last time to withdraw with a W going to be November 5th. I think this is the last time I checked. The required textbook. You'll need to have the bundle. Okay? I know that a lot of you go online and try to buy the information from online. However, if you go to U-Certify and ask for that copy, that specific copy, just the software, or just U-Certify to access the ebook, going to be $365, something like that. just the code for the access code for uCertify. In fact, if you have the bundle, which is required, if you have the bundle, the book, the manual, and uCertify from the bookstore is 180. Do you know why? The reason why? Because Charlie Schmidt, the author of the book, is a professor at FSCJ. She's one of our professors, and she is the writer of that book. That's why they give her a huge discount. And that's our bundle, which we have the book, the manual, and the access code for uCertify. The access code is not the section key. Again, the access code is not the section key. I provided the section key, but the access code, you need to pay for it. The ISBN number for the book or for the bundle is this one. This is a book that thick, it's a big one. And this is the manual for the lab, because if you go to uCertify, they don't have these steps. In fact, uCertify ends the ebook or the e-chapters ends at the page where the lab going to start. So this small book like this, I have it in my office. I can bring it for you. Small book like this have everything information about the labs that you are going to do in the hardware and software configuration. This book will work on hardware and software configuration at the same exact time. And uCertify give you, I think, a year from the day of activation, so you can take it in 2 different semesters. This is a card that comes with the uCertify. We will discuss about the number 1 showing over here, but I will let you see the uCertify how it looks like. NetLab. NetLab is the lab environment that we are going to use. This is free of charge. FSCJ will provide it for you for free. I've already provided you a list with the names of the students as well as the password. Now, if your name is not listed, that means you've been added after Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Either Friday or Sunday, because I work Friday and Sunday on the courses. So you've been added recently, that means your name is not listed. Call me, let me know that your name is not listed in the list of the username and password, and I'm going to give you one of the names that's showing that without the name, one of the usernames. Again, why is NetLab? NetLab is the virtual environment. Now, can I use my own computer? Yeah, you can use your own computer. You have an administrator, right? You can use your own computer. However, if you use your own computer, it will be on your personal risk, because we are going to do a configuration to the system. That means if you did a mistake, your system may freeze, your system may not respond anymore. That's why we are using a NetLab, because if it's freeze, if you did something really bad to the system, signing out, signing back in, everything is restarted. That's it. So it's to protect your own computer. Now, we are going to use NetLab with a browser. I've always used it with either Google Chrome and Firefox. I never used it with Edge or Internet Explorer. I don't know how the new Edge look like with uCertify. However, if you use it with Edge or Internet Explorer, NetLab. NetLab desktop will keep zooming in until you find yourself a small dot on the desktop, which I don't know why. However, use Firefox or Google Chrome with NetLab and you'll be fine. uCertify, as I already mentioned, uCertify is a third party. Any problem with NetLab, I have access to your account, so I can change the password. I can manage a lot of things. NetLab, if out of my control, I can send it to the administrator of FSCJ where they can help me with the NetLab. However, uCertify is totally different. organization. You're required to register with them. You're required to get the paid access code with them, and so on. So again, the access code, the one that you are going to pay for, is not the one that how I can say it, the one that I will provide. I'm muting students because I have students like leaving their mics on. Okay. So again, the access code, the one that you will pay, the one that comes with the book, the one you should pay for, the section key, it's free. We will tell you where to find it in a few. However, if you had the opportunity to read the first announcement I've sent, you will know exactly where I put it. Technology requirement, you will be accessing Canvas a lot, you will accessing a different system, so you should have a really good internet connection, good computer, personal computer. I don't say go ahead and buy like really high tech. However, if only if you play games. Okay, so we will have a number of work assigned as we go through. Most of the writing going to be MLA or APA. I personally prefer APA for writing. However, we have group work and so on. We will go through. So, we don't have a lot of writing, just a little bit, not too much. And these are the assignments. Each assignment, what we have, and how we are going to have the examples. So I will skip this part. I will leave it on you to look at it. Now, we will have one discussion that's worth 5 points. We will have 4 labs that's going to give us 5 points, 2 labs with 6 points, 1 lab with 9 points, 8 labs with 10 points, 2 labs with 15 points, and 1 lab with 30 points. We will have 1 team assignment, 1 and team assignment 2, 1 worth 12 points, the other one worth 30. We will have 2 team evaluation. I like to name this in a different name, which is the time for stitching, because team evaluation, you're going to put why you don't like to work with the other person with you in your team, and why you want to work with this guy in the team. So technically he's lazy, he don't, you can put it in the team evaluation and send it to me. Or he did not respond to my email. I kept sending him emails, and he did not respond. We did the entire work, he didn't do anything. At this point, I'm going to knock him out of or her out of the group, and I'm going to assign a 0 to their grade. If you didn't provide me this information, your grading for this team assignment will be different, because I will grade for a group. I'm not going to grade for an individual. So if you have a person in your group you want to get it out, you need to let me know from beginning before I grade. Now, when the group going to be assigned, the group will be assigned just when we have team assignment 1. So I'm not going to assign people now. I'm letting you have the opportunity to see each other name, know exactly if you have a friend or someone, and you can send me and say, hey, he's my friend, can I have him both in groups? I can switch, but if I didn't get any email or request, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull randomly into groups. Okay? We will have 10 quizzes, 3 skill test exams, and written exams 2. Let me stop over here. Skill tests. Or let me talk about the written exam. The written exam will require you to have the big book, the answers of the exam, the question located in the book. Okay? That's how the importance of the book. Skill tests, you're going to learn it through the labs. Okay? You are going to learn it through the labs, and I will try my best to give you the importance and all the information needed. So I will try to the maximum knowledge that I have, the maximum help I can provide you, to provide you the information with related to Okay, let me do one thing. I had a couple of people who did not say anything, so I think Alexandra is here. So I'm going to count you in.
Yes, I'm here.
Who's not here? Edward? Dicker? See if I see your
Yes, I'm
name
here.
in the, yeah, you're here? Did you say something? I couldn't hear it.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So you're here. Kathleen? You're no. Jayla? William? And so again, the written exam, the answer is going to be in the book, the big one. The skill test, you are going to learn how to do it through the labs, and the exam's going to be on the skill that you learn. How to the point breakdown as followed. How I can get an A. This course, if I want to call it, this is an easy A type of course. The meaning of easy A. The only thing that you need to do is not easy A. You will enroll and you get A. No, but the only thing that you need to do is do the homework by time. Otherwise, if you get just like lazy, just lazy, not it's not hard. The course is not hard. If you just don't feel doing it, your point will drop. Okay? Anything above 900 points, this is an A. Anything above or between 800 to 899, this is a B. 700 to 799, this is C. 600 to 699 is a D, and anything below 600 is an F. How I can get an I? There's the opportunity to get an I, which means incomplete. The rules say, according to the catalog of FSCJ, it say the student must complete at least 70%, 75% of the course work. That means you already have a C in the class, and you just need to have 2 more weeks complete. Okay? This is the only condition. I think you have 1 semester or 2 semesters, and you need to file a paper. I need to sign it. There's documentation come with it. It's not like, hey, can I request? I'll say, yeah, I approve it. No. There's a process. It needs to go to the instruction program manager. It needs to reach the dean. The dean needs to sign off it. We need to document it and so on in order for you to get an I. Otherwise, get a C. It's much easier. Policies and academic dishonesty and so on. Come on, this is a skill test, so you don't have any way to cheat. And if you cheated, I can find out. There's a lot of tools that I can utilize and find out the information. So there's no, most of the team assignments is going to be on your understanding, as we call it, on your knowledge. So what you think. So there's no cheating in it. But if I had the opportunity and I believe that you did cheat, I need to provide the information to the college, and we will file dishonesty. Attendance, it's required. The idea of virtual meeting is just like having us in face-to-face meeting. However, because the COVID-19, we are doing everything virtually. That's why you are required to attend class virtually. Late work, I don't accept late work because one thing, you already have a week to complete it or more. So why you are getting too late to complete it? If you have a documented reason, you're ill, you're taking care of someone ill, you have a paper from a doctor, you're in custody, this is the documented reason. They will give you a paper saying that he was in handcuffs between that day and that day. Okay? Otherwise, there's no reason you're being late with the work. I already set the day of the due dates, so you have time to go ahead and submit it. If you submit it late, it will say late, even though if you have the opportunity to submit it, it will say late. And we will discuss about that. But there's no extensions for any assignment given. This is the live structure that we have, the meeting that we'll have face to face. This is the policies, the new policies the school did. I think the school already published it for you. You already have a copy about what to expect from you. Ensure that you are a part of in a quiet location, no noise around you. Make sure that you have your video on, your mic is working. Check a lot of information. I'm pretty sure because I get it just like a student. I've already get it from the Dr. John, Alexander John, the president. And I copied exactly the email. Copied the one that sent you and put it over here. This is the calendar of activities. This is what we are going to do today. We are talking about the syllabus, the course orientation, and so on. It's everything due, and you can see everything due is on the next week. Why is due? Because we should start working on. We already lost half an hour. We should already start working on the talking about chapter 14. I want to point only one thing. You can see when we are going to meet and when it's due and how many points, but I just want to point to one important thing. Do you see this? Skill test 1 and written exam 1. It say proctored. This is the only proctored exam required from FSCJ. Proctored means monitored. The only monitored exam required from FSCJ going to be that exam. That's why this is the reason I've already set the dates, but there's no classes, so there's no meeting for us. I've already said October 5th and October 12th going to be no virtual meeting. You have 2 weeks to complete the proctored exam. Either you schedule it and go take the exam in a proctored session, or I'm going to release because I'm waiting on Professor Schmidt to release some information about the services that we are going to use for the proctored service. So technically, they will lock down your screen. You'll bring an ID, say this is me, this is who this guy is, and now they will look at you while you're working. Make sure that you're not cheating. This is the only required exam for us to have it monitored. We have 2 modules. That's test modules, Module 6 and Module 12. Module 12 is your finals. Module 6 is your midterm. And we keep going as you can see. You can download this syllabus in a few, but you can see that I'm already starting dividing at, I think, Module 10. Yeah, Module 10, I'm going to provide 2 weeks for the lecture rather than 1 week. So you can see that I've already left a red line over here telling you that this is 2 weeks to 2 weeks lecture for that module. And this is Module 12, where you have five wonderful exams. 1 is written exam 2, which worth 150 points, and 4 skill tests. Okay? If you count Module 6 exam, and I'm going to let you see this information so you can see how important it is. Just look over here. Module 6 points, just Module 6, is 250 points. 100 by 150, this is 250 points. This means that Module 6 worth almost a quarter of your total course. Let me go to Module 12. Module 12, if you add everything together, this is 350. Just Module 12 is 350 points. That means if you didn't do the proctored exam and the Module 12, you failed the class immediately without thinking. If you do them only these 2, this is 250 with 350, which will give us 350. which is still D. Okay, so it's important. These exams so important, and you will see, when we reach it, you will see how it's really easy. These exams, you just need to have a better understanding. And I will name it from now. The only thing that's really difficult in this course is IP addressing calculation. This is the only difficult lecture in the entire course. Okay, I'm going to try to give you the maximum I can provide in breaking down everything. And if you have the opportunity to read the syllabus, you will notice that module 10, I think, module 10, networking, module 9, networking, and module 8 is networking. Networking is being divided on 3 different modules. That's the importance of networking over here. Okay, so when we reach them and we will start talking about, IP addressing and how we can calculate it and how we can switch between binary and IP address back to binary, then calculating the subnet mask and why we have the subnet mask, then everything will be so easy. Okay? No? Good. Yeah, I'm looking at you on my other screen, so yeah, wonderful faces over here. Okay. I'm looking at you over here. See? So yeah, wonderful faces. Now, this is your syllabus. You've already completed the syllabus. Let's go ahead and talk about your Canvas. Let me pull out Canvas. Canvas. So, kind of, my screen is totally different than yours. You don't have a lot of things over here. Number 1, announcement. The most important thing in a virtual or an online module type of courses going to be announcement. Announcement is one-way communication. It's a broadcast to the entire audience. This is a lecture, but I will provide whatever I can provide information. So you will get an email whenever we have either a new module or a new week, just to get you wake up. Okay? Because if I leave you without anything, you will feel sleep and you're not doing anything. Okay? Now, let's go ahead first to the first module. Now, this is how to navigate the course. This is by Canvas, not by me. But you can find that I've already posted an announcement called Welcome to Software Configuration. A little bit about myself. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmed Al-Zaidi. I will be your instructor for this course. I hold a master's degree in computer information, computer security, system information, and computer security. I'm pursuing my PhD in information security as well. Yeah, I do a lot of hacking stuff. I can cover a lot of lecture on these things. PhD in business administration, information security is my specialization. I've worked in a different colleges setting. I've already worked in different university settings, and as well I did online courses as well as on ground courses. Due to the nature of this course going to be online kind of, so this is the type of hybrid course where most of the activity online and there's a virtual meeting. The only difference between online and virtual, do you know what the difference between it? Now, online, that means there's no virtual meeting. You don't see me. I'm not exist. That's an online course. Maybe I will put an announcement that you can see my face. Maybe I will put a small video, but there's no live chat, no live meetings. This is the difference between virtual and online. So whenever you tell me what's the difference between virtual and online, I don't know. No, you know. Virtual means there's a live session, there's an instructor who will be there. Online means that the instructor does not exist. Okay? You should already logged into Canvas and you went through the course. You should already have the opportunity to know how to navigate through the course. My advice, and I will take you there to download the syllabus. You need to search and find your name located in login information and U-Certify section key. This page I released yesterday has the name of login information and U-Certify section key located in the home start here. So we will go back to it. Make sure that you have the book with the lab manual. Make sure you have this access to U-Certify. The access code, again, is the access code. You need to pay for it. It's not the section key. I will provide you the section key. And you need to locate the information about the virtual meeting. And you are here, which is a good thing. You already located. You need to have good computer access, high-speed internet connection, and a mic and a webcam because we need them. If you have questions, again, email me at any given time. Syllabus. Talking about the syllabus, what's about this course, how you can contact me, what is my preferred method of contact, and this is how you can download the syllabus from here. You can see a list of all the work that you are going to do, when is due, the due date, and what's the thing. So technically these are the modules that we are going to do. There's a number of things that is not yet has a due date because you don't need to have a due date for it. Discussion, we already said we have one discussion only. Smarter proctoring, which is a proctor services. I'm planning to do the exams through them. I'm waiting the confirmation for it. Great, I cannot click over here because it will take me to the course grading, which everyone information will show up. However, if you click over here, you'll see your grades. Chat, conferences, people is where you will find the information about the group when we have them. However, over here is just a list of the names of the classmates. Okay, and I will create project groups in a few. Calibration that you can talk between you. Office 365, I think this is an access to Office. This is your attendance. Questions so far? No questions? Okay, no questions. Let's start talking about U-Certify. Do you have time? No? Okay. When you will get access to U-Certify, you will have the access code and a section key. Now, section key, we are going to get a copy of the second copy of the book. Let me stop over here. Now, when you will buy access a code or come with a book, and you don't put the section key, it's going to give you either or one of the copies of the either one or two. Two is software configuration, one is hardware configuration. Different assessment, different exams. If you are doing this, the hardware configuration at the same time with software configuration, then make sure to send an email to support@ucertify.com. Tell them, hey, I need to have, or open a ticket. I need to have access to the both copies of the book. You give them the access code, you give them the book name, you give them the both. It's two section keys that you have, one for the hardware, the second one is for the software. Otherwise, one of them will be picked. Again, two is software configuration. So let me go ahead and log into your, these are a lot of things. We will come to this. This is your section key. We'll come to it. This is the section key, but I will let you see it where it's at when we reach it. Just stay with me. You don't have any place to go, right? Okay, good. saying something and I'm responding to myself. Okay. Now, when you will get access to the section key, you will see this screen. Okay, the one in front of you. The most important part of that screen going to be assessment. Assessment going to have your lab 2, part 2, module 2. So you know which lab you are doing. So technically, we are going to use you certifying the upcoming module, not this module. And you will do activities. See, I have an F of it. So this is the information we need to have. This is the labs that you are going to do in the course. Good? Good. Now, for me, I will always go to chapters and lessons, and I will cover lecture from here. This is hardware, and we go to chapter 14, for example, and I will cover the lecture about for today's class from here. Okay? So you can read it. You can have cards. You can have quizzes. You can have labs for that specific chapter, which is a good thing. Now, why I like to certify? What's the reason I like certify? You certify, or this type of course, give you the opportunity to expand your knowledge. How is that? You have performance lab, which is not part of your course. You have post-assessment, pre-assessment, and so on. This is not part of your course. It's just an extra activity, extra thing that you want to learn more before doing the test for CompTIA. Okay? Rather than paying $2,000 for some course to cover CompTIA, everything about here. Just train yourself before you go. So this is a good thing. You have 1 year of access to this. Questions so far? No questions so far? Good. Let me pull something else. Okay, what's this? This is NetLab 03. This is our NetLab. I'm going to post this link so you can have access to it in a few. Okay? I don't remember my password. That's not the thing. Wrong password. Let me pull out the password. Come on. Give me 1 minute. Where's that? Okay. Welcome to NetLab. This is NetLab. As you can see, this is a NetLab. You will require to have it by week 1. So when you already have the username and password, you will come to it. I just want to cover everything before we start the lecture. So when you will come here, you want to create or reserve a lab. So you go here and say, schedule a lab for myself. Now you will have only 2. I have 6. Let me see your course. So this is locked. Okay. You will see 2. You will see 2. One is say software assessment. The other one say software configuration. If you go to the assessment, this is a lockdown on your exam. This is how you do your exams. So you don't need to click over here, schedule and assessment. Now, in order to schedule, just click over here. It will show the calendar over here. Do you see this line over here? That's the current line that we are in. Now, we have 30 pods online at the same exact given time. Which means if I have a student doing an activity, like let me say a student reserved a lab for himself over here, you will not be able to reserve a spot over here. So you need to find another pod to do your work on. Okay? Remember one thing, you may reserve after that time. And if you reserve a time, give yourself enough time. Now I'm trying to reach the point where it's really at my given time. I need to compare what the time is, so it's exactly this time going to start. If I click on 7 o'clock, the reservation will start on 7 o'clock. I cannot access it before that. So I'm going to say, okay, I need to have like until 8 o'clock, 1 hour and a half. Okay, I'm good. I'm going to say submit. This is the maximum time. Now, if you needed more time, there's an option where you're going to say extend time. It will give you 15 minutes. But if someone there reserved a spot, guess what? You cannot extend the time. Now, you'll see a lab in front of you like this. You just click on enter a lab and give it time for pause to pull out. You can see in front of you that we have a network. I'm going to name it because I know that you did not have a before class, like networking class for this class. So this is a bus topology network. We have 2 Windows 7, 1 Windows 8, and 1 Windows 10 as well. We have a Linux, and I remember based on my understanding, it's an Ubuntu. So these in a network where each one can see each other, we can go from one to another, we can attack, can do whatever we want. Anything in configuration, we can do it over here. And the moment that you exit out, you sign out, you end your pod, everything gone. All configuration you did disappear. Make sure you don't leave until you complete what you want to complete. You don't say end, reservation, because the moment that you ended, your configuration disappeared. So when you configure again, guess what? You just started from the beginning. For any reason, if the machine do not respond to you, any one of these machines, you can either shut it down, unlock it, shut it down, power it off, power it on. Any problem with the machine that did not respond to you, you can turn it off. Yeah, this is Ubuntu. Okay? This is the status of each one of them, and this is the documentation of you have the lab manual. This is the documentation, and this is the topology of the network. Questions so far? No questions? Okay, let's go back. Home. So I've already put in the announcement that you should start with here discussing all the information. What you need to know, that if you don't know how to access NetLab, is over here. However, the information located in the login information, just let me edit this for one second. Where's that? Cannot see it. So this is the link. Come on. This is the link for NetLab. This is the section key for you certify. So whenever you sign up, you're registering with you certify. They will ask you how your course is. You will put that is instructor led type of course, and they will say what's the section key provided by your instructor. This is the section key. This is the section key that you are going to put in order for you to get access to the second copy. This link to NetLab, and these are the username and password for NetLab. Okay? This is the default password. Whenever you say, hey, I'm not remembering my password, I cannot access, you send me an email, I'm going to return it back to this. This is the default password for NetLab. It's easy. It's cracked within a couple of seconds. Yeah, but I can restart it. Questions? Any questions? Are you sure? Ready for the exam? But we have more. Let me open AC. What we have more? I think we already discussed everything about modules, exam. Yeah, you're good. Questions? Ready for the lecture? Okay. I'm going to have 2 minutes just to drink some water and come back. Okay. So, let's talk about software configuration. I'm going to cover chapter 14 of this course. Do you have any questions before we start? Honestly. No questions. I have 10 minutes. I don't think that 10 minutes will be done enough for us. So, come on, faster. Still thinking. It's not working. Okay, now it's working. Okay. Now, what's the meaning of operating system? Now, if you already had the course, hardware configuration course, you will know exactly that the hardware, which is the computer, if I want to define it, it's going to be a piece of electronic equipment that's going to be divided into two things, or electronic device that's going to be divided into two things: hardware, which is the physical component; software, which is the intangible component. Anything that I can touch by my hands, this is hardware. Anything that I cannot touch, but I can interact with, this is software. Good? So the operating system is just like a piece, or the important piece of the software part. Now, if I want to talk, operating system going to hold utility applications, other applications that's required for the computer to work. The only part, the small part that's responsible to take whatever information from the software and put it inside the hardware is the kernel. We'll come to it. Called the kernel. The kernel will take from the binary language, from the 0 and 1, take from the binary language, the 0 and 1, and implement it inside the software as magnet, no magnet, or inside the hardware. Magnet, not magnet, electricity, no electricity, light, no light. That's a 0 and 1. This is the only thing that's how the kernel take high-level language, or take the binary and put it as inside the CPU. So the operating system is the most important piece of the software on a computer, because without it, no application can run and the hardware cannot work. We have different type of operating system, however, all of them share the same exact features, or not features, but ideas. So we have kernel, we have the part where it's going to manage between hardware and software. We have application that's responsible for our productivity. We need it to work, and we need the operating system that depend on, these applications will depend on the the hardware. Now, or the software. The moment that you power on the PC, you send in electricity, you press on power. What's going to happen? We have something known as the boot process, and the boot process is going to do something we call it the POST. 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 What's the POST? The POST is the power on self test. So the moment that you hit power, the electricity will be sent out and to the CPU, and the CPU will start pulling information. So the POST, what it's going to do? So you press it on, you send information to the CPU. The CPU will contact with the BIOS, and they will talk. Then we'll start pulling out information, check, and pull out the operating system. POST, which is the power on self-test, going to check if the computer has hardware problems. Cannot find the hard drive, no RAM, no CPU. That's everything will be done through the POST. If everything good, it will go and pull the application or the operating system from its location, and the load, I think wait.load or something like that, will pull out the utility you need for the. Now, forget which here. How we as users going to deal or work with the operating system? We work with the operating system through something known as GUI. GUI, which is known as the graphical user interface. GUI, graphical user interface. Because before GUI, we had command line interface, where technically we are going to type everything through the command line. Guess what? You are going to deal everything with command. You are a technical support project, as we call it. You are in the path to be a technical support. You are on your path to learn everything about computers. So at that time, when you're done or you start working, you should know everything about this. So the command line, or we know it right this moment as CMD or terminal in Linux, you send the command through typing the command and press enter, then you wait for it to execute. While in the GUI, you deal with pictures using the pointer. Okay, so that's the difference between command line and GUI. This is how we can talk with a computer. Now we have files and we have folders in Linux called directories. A file is going to hold, so technically, a folder, let's call a folder going to hold other folders and files. Okay, I want to let you see. Where's that? Okay, see this. Now, so what's this? This is a folder. This is a directory. The directory can hold other directories underneath, as well hold the files underneath. Now, this directory, known as the parent directory, and this directory at this moment known as the child directory. Now, this become a parent for this. Okay. Now, files going to have extensions. Okay, the extension going to be like the .jpeg or .doc for document. This is file. This is a file type. This is the files. So the dot, the extension, going to tell Windows what type of application that this file will work with. Okay, I know that is kind of advanced to start like this, but as I mentioned, this assumes that you already know all information about your hardware. So, for example, we can go into a file and we can interact with the file from here. So I can go to downloads and I will have like a bunch of files and I deal with them like this. Or I'm going to deal with them through a CMD. Now, by the way, my machine is really fast. So when I will work with it, it's going to be fast. So for example, I can put dir and this will list all directories. Yeah, so fast, right? It's going to list all directories that's under my location right this moment. Okay? Now it will say what type of directory I have and the name of it, when it was created, when it was last modified. This is a dir. Yes. I just put dir in a CMD. So go ahead. Go to the search, just put CMD and put dir and see what's going to happen. dir, press enter and see what's going to happen. You should use Windows, by the way. If you don't use Windows, this is a different story. But, for example, I may use tree, and we'll come to it. Don't use tree if your computer is really like slow. Well, you know, this will not be too bad. Yeah. Do you see my screen? Tree is pulling all files and folders located in a tree way to list on under here. Okay? Do you see? Everything has been listed. It's a lot. So if you type tree, just like tree, T-R-E-E, tree, it's going to list your computer files at on a tree. Good? Nice games? Okay. I'm going to let you type the first ever virus in your life. Good? You'll do viruses. So either we deal with the computer as graphical user interface, how we deal in normal life, or we are going to deal with the computer in a command prompt. Most of the technical support use the command prompt. They don't use this GUI because GUI is for normal users. This is the kernel playing a big part of the operating system, playing a big part between applications and the hardware itself. But good so far? Now this information is wonderful. I like it. I read it every time, and every time I'm not kidding. Every time I read this this page, I just, oh my god, I cannot believe it. Just read with me. Just read. Most common operating system today are going to be Microsoft Windows, Apple Macintosh, Linux, Chrome operating system, Android, and Apple. We have some for personal computers, some for mobile devices. Just read this paragraph. In 2018, it was estimated that more than 90% of all personal computer users or has used some version of Windows. 90%. Can you imagine that number? 90% of the computer users use or the computer use Windows, and the remaining divided between Unix and Macintosh. Now, by the way, let me clarify one important thing. Mac operating system or Macintosh operating system and Linux operating system go back to the same file. Both based on Unix code. Both are based on Unix code. There's a lot of similarities. There's differences, a lot, but there's a lot of similarities between them. How the file is structured, how it's divided, how it's worked. But there's a lot of things. However, they go back to the same exact Microsoft Windows was announced by Bill Gates in November 1983. We have DOS 3.1 was used the first operating system for Apple computers in 1978. The Apple Macintosh operating system that might be more familiar to you with not introduced until the 1997. Okay, but it used DOS. So Windows. In 1991, a Finnish student from Finland, his name is Luis Travolts, began working on a personal project to build a new free operating system, kernel. We know it today as Linux. It's free, it's stupid. Most of the hackers use it. Okay? There are different type of flavors of Linux, and it's all of them. The kernel is the core of computer operating system. People from all over the world continue to collaborate on building Linux open source code to submit tweaks to the central kernel of the operating system. Now, have you ever asked yourself what's the difference between a 32-bit operating system and a 64-bit operating system? Now, why a couple of years ago we needed to throw all our old computers because Windows cannot now work on the 32-bit? Why? Yeah. That's why. If we go back to hardware configuration and take a CPU, let me see if I have a CPU here. Because I have a bunch of them. If we go back and take a CPU, by the way, if you don't know, this is a CPU. Yeah, it's taking the background color. This is a CPU in my hand. So, the CPU itself, when have there's 3 units inside the CPU. I want to talk about this hardware part of the class in order for us to understand. There's three components inside the CPU itself. Want to do the ALC, I think, which is algorithms. I forget the other one's called, and the bus. So technically, there's 32 lines, pull out zeros and ones, bits. You know bits, right? Bits and bytes. Bits and bytes. Okay, we'll do it. So it will take a 32 0 and 1 at the same exact time and process it and send it back out. So 32 and send it out. This is a second clock. So if you heard about the CPU clock, this is the clock. So taking out and sending it. Okay? This is the clock. So you can hear today's CPU going to be 3000 gigahertz. That's mean 3000 times per second. Right? Yes. So this is a 32-bit hardware. Now 64 going to have 64 lines to pull out information and send it out. Now, in order to take quick math, and we type, just put 2, 0 and 1, 2 to the power of 32. 2 to the power of 32. Where's my calculation? So, different. Call your friends. Okay. So we have two. So what I did 2 to the power of 32. Okay? It will give me that number. Okay? 4,294,697,296. This is equally to 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's why we cannot use. That's the difference between 64 and 32. You want to see how this? Okay. 4 gigabytes. Do you see how I reached it out? Now my question, why is 1024? Yeah. Why 1024? All the number I've used is 1024. Why is that? Okay, listen. You know why?
Isn't that what a gigabyte is itself?
Can you repeat?
Isn't that what the I want to say it's like what a gigabyte to a byte is?
Yes. Exactly. So, I will explain it. Let me pull out Excel over here. For one reason. I want you to see the information. Now, let me say, for any reason, let me restart. Now, okay. So, what we have in binary, we have what? We have 0 and we have 1, right? This is binary. This is magnet, no magnet, electricity, no electricity. You know, that's binary. Okay? That's the 0 and 1 that we have. That's binary. Binary have two values only. One is 0 and the other one is 1. So regardless, this is a binary. This is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 8. So whenever we have 8, now this is the change over here. Each value of them, we call it bits. Okay? Each value of them, we call it bit. Whenever we have 8 bits, going to equal for us, come on. Going to equal for us bytes. Okay? Now, why 8? This is the single word that can take. This is a letter. If I have 0, if I want to write 0 in binary, and you can use any translator, just 0 is going to be 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? This is the 0 letter we know in our English. Good? Now, whenever we have 1024, over here is the change. So we have from byte going to have kilobyte. 1024 kilobyte is going to equal to megabytes. Same thing. Gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes. We have more. Extra byte, zeta byte, and eta byte. Good? Now that question I asked, why 1024? Because it's a multiplication of 8. So if we go so fast, 8, go fast, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 5, 12, and 1020. So fast. Good? Now this is why we have gigabyte, megabyte, petabyte, and everything. That's the storage medium. And that's the bits and bytes that can be stored into the computer, and that's the multiplication. Now the operating system we have is 32-bit. The same exact reason why we are switching out from IPv4 in networking into IPv6, because we are running out of IP addresses, because we are running out of 4 billion IP addresses. Now, why we had? Because the CPU cannot see more than 4 gigabytes. Because 2 to the power of 32 is going to give us 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now, if we go to the minimum requirements for the operating system, oh, they didn't put it over here. Good. The minimum requirement for the operating system, you can see, I think 2 gigabytes needed for Windows 10 and Windows 8. Just Windows to work by itself. Just the operating system without any application running, without any viruses. Just operating system 2. Let me say I'm at anti-malware. This is 512 megabytes. Right? Let me say that I'm using Word. Okay, another 512. This is 3 gigabytes. I'm running out of space, right? I'm running out of space. Because if I go right this moment to my computer and I will pull out the performance, right this moment I'm running on, and guess what? I'm running on 24 gigabytes of RAM. I have 24 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm using 40% of. Just read this. Just read with me. Just Firefox by itself, it's over gigabyte. Just Firefox by itself. And that's the reason why 4 gigabytes cannot handle anymore. That's why the operating systems are requiring a 64-bit and more than gigabyte. Hardware, we throw out the 32 as we start using 64. Let's go back. Let's read more. So 32-bit or a 64-bit operating system. This is 32-bit Windows. We'll have a minimum of 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's a 32-bit Windows. Can process 32-bit process at a time. Can have 32-bit required and all about 32-bit. Over here, right? 64-bit processor can read up to 2048 gigabytes supported. Now, technically, this is too much exaggerating in terms of numbers, but it can see of having that maximum the operating system can see. You cannot have a hardware that has almost 2 terabytes of RAM, but at least that the number can see. We require a 64-bit of process to be at a time, and require 64-bit, drivers. What we have in Windows, we have Windows 7, Windows 10, and Windows 8. I can take you back. We have Windows 3.1. Then we have Windows 1995, 1998, Millennium, 2000, XP, which is one of the successful Windows. Then we have Vista, biggest mistake, 7, which is one of the successful operating systems we use today. The support everything for it. Then we have what? 8.1, the biggest mistake for Microsoft. 8.1, then 10, which until now is successful. Workstation operating system. I don't know. I'm running out of time. I've already reserved 2 hours, so I don't know if I'm going to be knocked out of my reservation. Can I extend? I don't know. However, a workstation is okay. It's not the one that you have for your personal computer. It's a workstation that holds more than one monitor, has high-speed computer, a lot of RAM, can process a lot of information at the same exact time, can hold servers and so on, and require Windows 10 Pro, not Home Edition, and so on. It will require much more. It's not the one that we have. Now, if we want to talk about mobile operating system, Android, which was developed by Google in 2018, had nearly 86% of the 383 million smartphones sold that used Android operating system. You will imagine that, hey, what about iPhone? Why we don't have it as majority? It is majority in the United States, and the second line going to be Android. If you go outside of the United States, there's a flip. The majority going to be Android than iOS. So just about market. If you read the news a lot, you will find that not talking about China, because China we have. I go in terms of China, we will go to politics, and I don't want to go to politics. China develops a lot of their phones and they sold it to India, and they are the major second market for smartphones going to be India. And India, because they are they cannot afford money a lot for devices, that's why they use Android, and that's why we have a majority of the market. We have other operating system going to be Chrome operating system, iOS, and Windows Mobile. They trying to get back to the market of the mobile devices. Now, whenever we work, we have concerns. The concerns of the end of life. Okay, end of life. What's the meaning of that? When I'm sure that you will have other classes during your FSCJ time, and you will have a course, or we have a course COP 1000, which is going to be for programming course. If you read through this, there's something known as the developing life cycle, software development life cycle. Okay, SDLC. This, any program will have a beginning of it to develop, then a period of maintenance, then a period to die, and end. Now, what if you are using that software? What's going to happen? That's the concern of end of the life. Okay? There's a lot of issues while working with software. A lot of people, what they do, they use cracked software. It's not only damaging the company or the money for that business, because someone is stealing out the serial number. I gave you a serial number that you can use and give you a full version of Adobe Photoshop. Now, my question for you over here: do you trust me of having playing out with the code and not implementing a virus into it? This is the first concern, which is security. Security threat: if someone uses an old version of anti-malware, your malware, because it cannot have any more copy updates, your copy will result of security threat as well. When you use an old software on a new operating system, you're running into a software compatibility. You're forcing your Windows to deal with this software differently in order for you to use it. For example, let me put it. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to play a game that I was playing a couple of years ago. I don't know if you've heard about it. Red Alert, Generals, and Easy Revenge. Have you ever heard of these games? Strategy games. It's in the 1990s period of time, between 1990 and all the way to 2005, I think. Red Alerts. In order for me to play this game and downloading it from a source that I was not sure for it, I needed to run all version of Windows on a virtual machine in order for me to play this game. Because Windows 10 cannot play it, cannot run it. So, too old. Software incompatibility don't work. Compliance issue. Whenever we are having problems with the license, you will have a compliance issue. Your license expired. Why you are using our software? Your license is not anymore active. Your license has been revoked. Why you are using our software? So technically they have the right to request to delete that application from you, or they will disable it. Operating costs. Now, most of businesses, and I'm talking about businesses now, most of businesses, they will use, for example, they use Windows 10. Windows 7. Windows 7 support has terminated. So Microsoft do not offer any more support for Windows 7. And you are, as a company, operating in all your 1,000, 2,000 computer uses Windows 7. And you have a technical issue. Operating costs, because Microsoft will not support you anymore, will not go and manipulate the code. You need to hire a programmer who knows exactly how Windows has been programmed in order for him or her to find the issue and figure it out and put it. How much it costs you? It's cheaper to go and buy and upgrade to Windows 10 than finding guys to do this thing. Operating costs is also an end of life concern. Performance and reliability. Most of updates, I had talked before with general manager of one of the colleges. The college is not anymore in existence, but one of the colleges. I had the opportunity to talk to. This is in 2014. And I said, hey, I've noticed when I'm using your computer, you're using old version of Java, old version of Microsoft Office, old version of Windows. Why is that? Why you don't update? You have the updates. It's not free, but why you can update it? Free update. Why you don't update? Oh, it's because that I don't trust them. They may have bad things. I said, okay, bad programming, bad thing. I said, they released an update because they had a version that may have a problem with it. I said, Java said that they fixed a problem. Whenever you have a notification of update, software update, read why you're getting an update. They will say bug fix. Bug fix means that a mistake, or they found a mistake that may result of security threat, or may expose your identity, So whenever you have an update, you need to update. Now, so the company that I'm telling you refuses to update, and they start getting a lot of viruses, a lot of problems until inside. Why? Reliability problems, performance problems. So end of life is a big concern for us as IT, and we need to address it. And that's what I'm saying. Update concerns. While there are many excellent reasons to update an operating system that has reached its end of life, we have another problem. Insufficient hardware. Your hardware cannot deal with that software. Your hardware is 4 gigabytes maximum. Okay, I have a laptop that has 8 gigabytes of RAM on it. However, whenever I run Windows 10 on it, it immediately freezes. It cannot handle Windows 10. Insufficient hardware. I decided to take other operating systems. I use other problem while updating setup errors and freezes. One of the concerns that they ask you, hey, before you update, make sure that you did call because you may data loss if someone freezes. Two concerns in front of you: data loss, which is the last one, and the freezes while setup because problem incompatibility with the hardware or RAM. Drivers. Most often, all devices have not yet developed the drivers for that operating system. Whenever you have a new operating system, whenever Windows has been released, not all businesses did have the time to develop a driver for that operating system. It will take them time to develop drivers. Application incompatibility. You have old application, it cannot run on Windows. So, because I had this is a real story. I had a client where I managed their website online for them. I do their servers, and they are located in Miami. So she called me. She said, "Hey, listen, we are thinking to update the they are looking to." My question: do you have the copy of the application you use for your business? She said, "No, we don't. You need to wait till your business, or the vendor where you buy the software from, give you a copy for Windows 10. Otherwise, all your data will be deleted. If you're ready to delete everything, you start using the new operating system and the new application, I can do it. Otherwise, don't update your application with Windows 10. Okay? Big concern. Compatibility issues. Software compatibility can refer to whether a practical application must be used with a specific CPU architecture. Most of the problems we face with compatibility, sometimes we can fix it by running as different Windows architecture, but not always. Cooperating, corporate operating system needs corporate require a different infrastructure. Whenever you have corporate, if you read like job posting, you will find experience with AD, and experience with OU, and experience with one more thing. So what's AD? AD means Active Directory, organizational unit, OU, organizational unit, and there's one more thing I forget. But technically, what's this? Whenever you work in corporate, the corporate will be just like a structure of a triangle. So you have a head, then you go down to the other. This triangle, if you read it, it should be held in a domain. So if we are on campus, in order for you to access, you need to access through the student domain. In FSCJ network, we have a student domain and faculty domain. I cannot use your computers until access, I've already discussed the domain, which is controlled by a domain controller. The BitLocker, which is technically encryption of the driver itself. There's, if you are a technical support, you don't suggest the entire driver encryption or hardware encryption. You encrypt only the data itself. So you don't encrypt the entire thing, because if you encrypt the entire thing, the entire drive, and you needed to switch the drive to another computer, so you pull out information. Media Center. Windows Media Center can be used to turn on computer into a home entertainment hub. So I have my computer, I can link it with my TV, smart TV, and can link it as a cinema. I can put it as store information over here of videos. Branch cache, which is going to be wide area network WAN links are smaller than the local area network WAN connection, and this because WAN connector building connects building locations in different cities or location in different. Microsoft has introduced a technology called branch cache, which that's help users more quickly to retrieve data from a remote location. Encryption of a file system. Encryption of a file system is one of the things that it's a good and bad, because if you encrypt the file system itself, it's not the file you work with, it's the file that's will let operating system work. Called file system. Like if you have heard about NTFS or FAT, FAT32, FAT16, and so on. All of these, if it's encrypted, it's come with some kind of requirement. Some corporate environment require that specific files and folders are being encrypted, especially on a laptop that may be stolen or on a computer that's fully encrypted in contains sensitive data. Corporate version of Windows include a feature called the encrypted file system that allow you to encrypt the file or folder as easily as making it a file or read only as changing it actively. Questions? No questions? Yeah. Good thing we reach half of the chapter. Okay. Now, this is the desktop environment. I think this is Windows 7. This is the desktop environment of Windows 7. Now, anything on a desktop, like for example, this is a shortcut for Zoom meetings. This is an icon. This is the desktop. This is the taskbar. This is how the icon will be located on the desktop. Start screen in Windows 8, they don't have it anymore. It has tiles rather than a start screen desktop. So in Windows 8, we have the charm, which is located on the right hand side. So if you take your pointer to the right hand side, the charm will show up. This is a question of one of your questions. You will get how to show up the charm in Windows 8. Just mouse. This is Windows 10. The desktop is much better, much nicer and simpler. Shortcuts and tiles. Shortcut means the virtual file located in another location. That's a shortcut. The icon of that file will be underneath the small arrow. This is a shortcut, which represents the shortcut to the path where it's located. Tiles is a different story. Tile will be located in the start menu, which is going to click to run that list just like that. Taskbar, this is the icon, that's the taskbar over here. This area known as the navigation area, and this is more options that we have. This is the start menu. I'm going fast because this is easy. It's easy, anything that's require us to stop out. Shut down, restart, or power off. This is if you have signing out or switching a user when you have a multiple user to use the computer. As I mentioned, this is the start screen of Windows 8. And this is how you can shut down, because you have the account information to the top right hand side. You have the search also as well. Apps, which stands for applications, located into the start menu. When you press down, you will go to applications. Windows desktop component, we have desktop icons, a search bar, task view. If I can see task view. What we have icons. You can pin some icons to the desktop. We have the action center and the navigation area. Technically, I have two screens, by the way. So this information is located in my screen number 1, and you are looking at my screen number 2. That's why you don't see it. I see it over here. That's the start menu. It has tiles, which is a new thing, and this is the application. As you can see, power off options and apps list as you go through. If you press over here in Windows 10, this is the task view. You will see all the tasks showing up. You can add more desktops, just like Linux, just like Mac. Yeah, it's a copy from home. Interaction with a window. This is a dialog box or a window. We call it a dialog box. Whenever you want to open or save, whenever you want to print, whenever you want to do something, this is go to properties. This is the dialog box. You have more options to deal with the information. So when you go to the right click will known as context menu, and you go to properties. For example, this is the dialog box or the window for properties. Okay, let's talk about here. We already talked about subfolders and subdirectories. We already talked about file extensions. Let's talk about these things. View options. Now, whenever you work, okay, if you go to the folder option, as you can see over here, it say, I already uncheck it. It say hide extension for non-file type. So if you rename a file and the file extension is shown, just like mine, and you deleted the file type, this file will be switched as unknown. You cannot write it until you put the correct file type, the correct extension to that file. That's one of the things where you need to hide it or show it. By default, Windows will hide it, but for you, as a technical support, you can show it. Also, hidden files and show hidden files or hide it. Hidden files, you can do it. This is, for example, I can right click on it and say properties, and I'm going to say hidden and apply it. Now, this is a hidden file. I already had on, but I can say folder, don't show, and apply, and you can see it's here. Why? Because the attribute of it changed and will require you to, where is it? You can change the attribute back to shown or rotated. That's one of the things that we need to talk about. File option, file organized, folder option. extension, a list of file extension over here. We have thousands of them. I don't expect you to memorize them all. I expect you to know exactly how you can find the information of that file system, how you can locate it. Okay? What we have more Windows Explorer. That's how you can explore through the windows. If we want to talk about Windows Explorer, that's the Explorer over here. We will have the folder area, the navigation pane, the ribbon, the icons. This is groups. This is tabs where you can switch from one tab to another. This is the search box. This is the file explorer. Again, folder area, navigation pane. This known as a ribbon. These are known as tabs. Inside each of on the ribbon, you will have groups that divided by a gray small gray line, and each group will have its title underneath. Each group will have options. You can jump from one place to another. This is the backstage of it or the options of it. This is called quick access. Full path and logical path. This is a logical path, and this is a full path. This is a file. Physical path is a hardware path. You can find it, you know the technical. What we have more, display the full path or the title, or just leave it as logical path. Exactly. Search and index. Now, before when we wanted to search an item, it would take time to search the entire drive, and take time to locate this item. However, these days in Windows 10, whenever you put a search word, immediately show up. Why is that? Because it's indexed in what we call a keyword indexed in a database called indexing database. And what's this? This is a way where it speeds up the process of searching, so you can type your name and any document that holds your name. Why? Because your name is being listed in the database. Indexing database. Sometimes you need to disable it, sometimes you need to enable it. Attributes, compressions, and encryptions. Attribute, a file attribute, either a hidden attribute, a read-only attribute, or so the attribute, we may change it. We can compress a file, we may expand the file, or we can encrypt that file if our Windows enable us to do. Cipher is the encrypted text. Plain text, encrypted text. Cipher is the encrypted text. Control panel is a utility where you can add more drivers, add more application, add user, control the entire thing, control the entire Windows. However, we will control it in a different way. That's what we have in the list. Determining the version of your Windows. If I ask you what is the version of your Windows, you go to the system in the control panel. This will show up. Settings. Category. Where is it? The third screen. operating system. So in order for you to determine the version of Windows, it's located over here. So what's your processor? That's my processor, i7, my RAM, my operating system bits and bytes, 64-bit, and this is my Windows 10 application. That's my Windows registry is just like a database that holds everything about the Windows, the machine, and the users. Everything about the who's using it, the machine, the local machine, the current user, the current configuration, and the class of the root. It's so important to not miss this if you don't know how to work with it. Hopefully by the end of this course you will work with it. In order for you to find it, you go and type in the search box bridge edit, and this will show. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Everything. All the stations that I'm working with, applications, and so on. Backing up data. Whenever you work, you should learn that the importance of a backup. If you don't use backup, you may lose data. I've worked in website designs for a long period of time where I had computers or servers being attacked, being wiped out clean. If I don't have a backup, my computer, my system will not return to work. Different type of backup. We have full backup. We have internal backup, external backup. In internal backup or external backup, there's a full backup, incremental backup, and differential backup. Full backup will copy everything about your operating system, your files. This is full backup. Incremental backup, let me say we had a full backup on Monday, then or on Sunday, then Monday we will have a percentage. Tuesday we have another percentage. Thursday we have another percentage until Sunday, for example, and we have backup percent and something new. That's incremental backup. Differential backup will back up only the file that has been defined, changed on it, and we keep going until we run full backup again. You can use iCloud or like cloud storage to store your data on it, or you can use any external or internal hard SSD. Recovering the Windows operating system, you can either create a system image. Can you create it from your computer? Yeah, you can create it. You can create an image of your computer whenever you need it. You can put it back. Or you can create something known as recovery disk, or you can create an image of your Windows. We have a utility known as Windows Recovery Environment, WinRE. It's used when Windows 7, 8, or 10 does not boot or other problems show up. It will tell you Windows cannot boot. It asks you to troubleshoot it and try to fix it. If not able, then it will ask you to put either recovery disk or an system image. System images, like if you take today an image and after 10 days or 20 days or a year, when you went to that specific image, you will go back to that day, all the information will be updated. Everything that has been changed will be gone. At the end of each chapter, we have soft skill. It says stay current. This is important for you to stay current, that you get all the information to be updated. We have a lot of lists of benefits and how you become and stay current. Questions as of? No questions? Okay then. Let's talk one more before I end this class. In basic NetLab. So it will say these lab align with the learning outcome 1 and 2 that you just learned. Examine and interact with Windows control panel. Change the settings of Windows Startup buttons and start screen and taskbar. Instruction navigate through this information. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think it's I'm pretty sure that she. So, it will tell you Windows 7 Basics, what you need to do, steps that you need to complete. If you have the lab manual, you see it's starting from step number 10. However, in the lab manual, we have steps, skills to learn. These steps, maybe I need to start from step number 10 all the way to step number 12 to complete that task. So, you see that's 10, 12, 14, 19, 26, that's why you jump. Or you can use the manual, the small book with you, and you log in to NetLab. In NetLab, you do have to click change display settings to answer the question, and so on as you go through how to do the lab. I've already told you how to reserve a spot. Only the instruction is located in your manual, and this is notes how you can complete questions. The only lab you need to do is NetLab, so how you can find your information. So you take this, and you take this, it will ask you to update your information. Questions? Once, twice, solved. See you next week. Bye bye. I will pause the recording of this session online.